Welcome back to Becoming a Published Author is Fun. And if you don't understand that, check out episode 8. However, today we are in episode 2539, and a slightly different aspect in what the title says. The title says Becoming a Published Author. This is entitled Publishing is Fun, and it's speaking about me as a publisher, or maybe you want to be a publisher. There's plenty of room out there, in my opinion, for people to publish, not only publish their own books, many independent authors do that, but maybe to do what I do, not only publish my own books, but publish others as well. And so I entitled it, Publishing is Fun. And you might say, well, how can that be? It sounds like a lot of work. Well, it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work, a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of time, but it has its own rewards. And that's what I want to talk about. It won't take that long because there's only a few that I'm probably going to talk about. But I think that we get the wrong concept sometimes about the publishing aspect of it. And some people go and talk about how cheap it is as to publish your own books, and that's about all they talk about. Others might talk about how difficult it is, and I've done that because it is. It has its complications, and there have been times I've wanted to pick the computer up and throw it right through the nearest window. But it is fun, and I just simply want you to know that this is an option for you, or at least when you're working with a publisher, you'll understand a little bit about their perspective. So let's get started. Why is publishing fun? Well, the first thing is that I want to talk about, and this will be in some in depth, is growth. Actually, it's a two-sided coin. There is the growth of the client, and I'm going to get to that in a moment. There's also your own personal growth. I learn by observation. So do you. We all learn by some form of observation, even as children. Younger children watch their older children, brothers and sisters, and then when they see them get praised, they want to get praised too. So that what do? They copy them. But when they see that their older brothers and sisters get in trouble, then they try, oh, maybe I better not do that. They don't necessarily think that way, but it's their inner reaction. At least it was for me. I have an older sister. And so when she got in trouble, that clicked in here, and I didn't get in trouble for that. I found something else that I could get in trouble with my parents with, but at least it was my own. But the thing is that we grow as well as a publisher. And I've learned a lot about my chosen profession, which is basically that of being an author, but now the publishing other people's books. And I learn about different personalities, different likes and dislikes. I'm learning how to interact with different people. It's an experience, a growth. It's both a growth and just a joyful experience. Now, I'm sure I'll run into somebody that doesn't bring that much joy. And there's always somebody that I may work with and it just won't work out. I've had that in the past. I had a person I was writing for. I was actually ghostwriting, the only time I've ever tried it. And the person that I was ghostwriting for was paranoid, among other things. And eventually we had to go our separate ways. But I learned some things. Some things that when I wrote the book Hurricane Ian, Winds of Providence and Provision, I actually incorporated into that book. So some people might think that that was a ghostwritten book. It wasn't. It wasn't. I was the author. But I was using their story, and I adapted it to them. I don't know if I'll ever do that again. But I enjoyed doing it, and that is just something part of the growth process. So I observe my own growth. But then there's also the growth of the client in this case. Could be a student, watching them and teaching them and so forth, watching them. I have two services, one in which I teach you to write and then publish you. Another one is you already know how to write. All I do is work with you on the editing and the formatting and things of this nature. And then again, you get published. In both cases, I learn by observing how you, say you were one of my clients, how you react to different things, how you write, how you express yourself, how you as a human being, a fellow Christian, sees things, interprets them, and uses them in your own life. And that is something that brings to me a sense of joy, if you will, just to be able to learn that. I've had the privilege of meeting some great men and women. Unfortunately, I waited until I got up into these age bracket I'm in now. But I look at them and I think to myself, wow, I wish I would have known them back then. I listened to their stories. But the thing is, even there, I'm learning because I'm listening to their stories. And authors, whether they're a student or they're a client, have a story to tell, their own personal story and a story that they're writing. And that brings me joy. That makes it fun. Another thing is commitment. I'm looking for committed people, not people who should be committed to something, like a. Uh, so I'm talking about being committed to the Lord, committed to the calling, if you will. I'm looking for people who have an understanding of what God wants them to do. And so, excuse me for a second here. Throat getting a little dry. So, commitment to keep on a schedule, a commitment to progress, to go from where they are when they come into working with me, where they are at that point, no matter where they are in the book, when they start with me, there's a commitment. I expect a commitment. They are literally, when they pay out money to get my services, they are committing themselves. And it's sort of interesting to watch. And now I've had people who have watched me as I committed myself to different things. Hopefully they were pleased. I may have taken a longer time than they expected, but they see the commitment. I remember one time a person said about me that when I got a job to do, a task to do, and I really got into it, I was like a bulldog who sunk his teeth into a bone and would not let it go. Now, I don't know how complimentary it is to call me a bulldog, but the person meant it as a compliment. And so I took it that way anyhow. But that was commitment, getting at it, digging at it, chewing on it until it got done. That brings me joy to see that in somebody else. Then the surprise. And what am I talking about there? Well, I have different clients. The one I'm working with right now, who at the point of this writing, has just recently, the book is in pre-launch and will very shortly be launched. It's a book of devotions. In fact, I have it right here. Here we are. Simple Thoughts from a Simple Man by my client's name is Dan Cage. You can see it there. And watching Dan grow in this whole thing as he's done his devotions and we've worked together on things. He was a very mature Christian to begin with. But I've watched him grow, not necessarily in his Christian understanding, but in what was required for putting this book together. His knowledge, his experience. It doesn't take long for him to learn things. He adapts well to them. But he started out, he didn't really have high expectations, and they're still not as high as I think they're going to get. But he's had his first sale, a pre-order sale, and that was a paperback. Amazon does pre-orders and ebooks, but I do a pre-order on paperbacks. And so when you pay for it, when it comes to that date of launching, I'm gonna put that order in, and it will go. The book will be printed and sent out to however many clients, or rather buyers he's received. And then after that, you come to launch and the post-launch. And so as he's going through these different stages, he's getting a deeper and better understanding of the whole process. And so I think as I see him, I see his level slowly going up. His purpose is to be a blessing to other people, and that's not going to change. But he may be learning that he's more popular than he thought he was. That's very possible. He's maybe learning that there's other people out there who really want to hear what he has to say on different things. He's a humble man, a Christian. He loves the Lord, and he has some excellent, his understanding of the Word of God is, in my word, is phenomenal. He's not alone in it. I have another client, equally phenomenal. I'm excited about him as well. But Dan Case is the one that's on the verge of getting published right now. And so, in some sense, he's already published because the books are in pre-order. But when they actually are published and available, not only on my bookstore, but they'll be available on Amazon. They'll be available on other bookstores as well. Anyway, we want to carry them. Finally, satisfaction. Well, what am I talking about there? Well, again, remember, I'm talking about me as a publisher. I can't think of anything more satisfying as a publisher than to see my client's dream come true. And also, like I just got done talking about, their expectations being exceeded. So I don't know what's going to happen with his sales. My own marketing of his book has been quite interesting and enjoyable. And that has been a satisfaction, a personal satisfaction of me, seeing the impact that I'm having as far as getting the word out and things of this nature. But when the sales start mounting and growing, I think that's going to bring a lot of satisfaction too. But that's in the future. Right now, I have this satisfaction again to be able to take this book and just it's almost as though it was my own book. Yes, I'm the publisher of it, and so that makes it my own book in that sense. But it's somebody else's book too, and the two tie together, and it just makes it so special. You might be called to be a Christian indie publisher, and don't just miss it. It's a future. It has its own joy in it. Publishing is fun. At least it is for me, and I believe it could be for you as well. You have a great day, and I hope that. Oh, by the way, let's see if I can. Right about here, you have the opportunity to subscribe to my channel, TR Independent Books. When you do that, you get access to my podcast. As I understand it, you get anything that I publish there that's open to the public or to subscribers. But you also do something else. You encourage me. Now, that may not mean a whole lot to you, but it does mean a whole lot to me. When you go and you subscribe to my channel, that means that you appreciate something about it. You've benefited perhaps from it. Maybe you've learned something from it. This particular thing, podcast, Becoming a Published Author, is fun. I give out free tips all the time. So maybe you benefited from those free tips. But in any case, that encourages me. And what does it encourage me to do? Keep doing what I'm doing and to inform you, encourage you, and inspire you. That's my goal in every episode I do. Now, am I successful? I have no idea. That's your determination. You are the judge. So I hope you do enjoy it. And when you subscribe, that kind of tells me that, oh, maybe I'm hitting it right. Maybe I've hit a home run or something like that in that person's life. In any case, you have a great day, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next episode.